Me, 33, and girlfriend, 31. She started a new job with a coworker constantly hitting on her. Hey there. So my girlfriend started a new job a month ago about. There is a guy there who seemed innocent at first, but now things seem very weird. He initially wanted to grab lunch, they are very new coworkers, sure. But then he drove her somewhere, okay, then took her grocery shopping at some point after another lunch. Then he asked her if they wanted to ride bikes on a Saturday. Again, this is very strange for brand new coworkers, let alone a girl and presumably a desperate single guy. Context also. My girlfriend has a very hard time saying no to anybody. Could be a cultural thing. She literally blocked out time for a very important call she had to take, and it was some financial insurance advisor trying to sell crap for an hour. She knew it was a telemarketer, she just hates being rude. Another time a landlord swindled her into some absurd lease terms using high-pressure tactics. She hates hurting any guy's feelings who approaches her, even if she has no interest. So the grocery shopping time, she told the guy to leave the bags at the front desk of the apartment building, he didn't and rode the elevator up with her, and invited himself in. I thought this was absolutely insane, the guy could be a predator. Then he even saw some boxed up desk, furniture stuff she had, and offered to build it, won't take no for an answer. By the way, the desktop and bottom were put together backwards, I guess I have to fix that. She said she didn't want to be rude to let a brand new coworker up to your apartment alone without asking. Okay, so most of this happened like 2-3 weeks ago. And the guy is constantly trying to meet her at work, go to lunch, walk her places. He even said he was near her apartment in the area to drop off food if she wants. Now he is skulking around her apartment, I guess. I told her to tell him she has a boyfriend, so he buzzes off. She mentioned that a few times to apparently no avail. They are co-workers in an important, high-pressure profession, so she can't tell the guy to F off completely. Now today apparently this guy has dropped off some bicycle for her to use. She said that, I can use it too. And if I can change the bike combination, passcode for her. She apparently has no problem accepting gifts, which would be fine, but it's this creeper guy who is constantly trying to invite himself over again. I feel disrespected. I feel she should reject this gift. No way in hell I'll be using it. What should I do? I trust my girlfriend, but she has zero sales resistance in general, and also is a bit materialistic, so would see no problem taking stuff for free regardless of context. But I'm not happy. Too long did not read. Creepy coworker constantly sniffing around girlfriend. Dropped off a free bicycle. Should I throw it in a lake? Get her to invite him over while you're there and watch him squirm. He won't want to repeat that, tears of joy. Not sure if anyone said this, but I'm literally worried for her safety. Having zero awareness for safety is dangerous, and she seems to say yes to everything. You may have to have a conversation with him in the alley. I would. Your girlfriend needs therapy. Stat. This level of people-pleasing and avoidance behavior is insanely unhealthy and, as you can see, dangerous. She needs to address this, and learn strategies to say no and face confrontation. Until and unless she does this, this will continue to be your life. She's letting him do too much, bro. She keeps that up and he may tap that. Did she have clogged drains and he cleaned them out? She absolutely needs to stand up for herself. This guy isn't getting her hints. And letting him into the apartment. Be there when he's coming over next and make it clear that she isn't interested in him. And then tell him to keep his relationship with her professional lest someone make a complaint about his behavior. Boss time or human services. Make a situation where you three are around together and establish what RS you have with her. If he still does the same thing, then you should be concerned for your Jeff's safety. This is when you need to show up. When your girlfriend has difficulty in rejecting others, the boyfriend should show up, show your sovereignty and decisively reject that colleague. After all, relationships are a matter of two people and cannot be handled by only one party. Your girlfriend should read the book, The Gift of Fear, by Davin de Becker. In it, he writes about how someone insisting against someone else's desires is not a good person. A man or woman insisting they help you with your groceries, get you a drink, or anything at all is stomping over your boundaries, and that is never okay. Looking at it through that lens, maybe your girlfriend will be able to shut this guy down. Context also. My girlfriend has a very hard time saying no to anybody. Could be a cultural thing. Just for some perspective here, women are taught from birth to make themselves small and nice to protect and accommodate men's feelings in all those little ways and more. Sounds like an episode of Kim's Convenience. The easiest way she can end him bothering her is to just say to him when he invites her to do something is sure as long as you, her boyfriend, get to go, or I would rather spend my off time with my boyfriend. For some people it takes some getting used to be able to say no, and be comfortable with it. Try to make friends with him via your GF. Tell her it's rude to not allow him into your friend group. All our friends want to meet him, or even set it up. Yeah, us and Rory are meeting up, we need an extra to ______ call him. Please remember she doesn't like to say no. Since he's so forward, so you can be. Call him, drop by, don't take no for an answer. Basically invite him into your life, be friends. Besides the question you're asking advice for, I'd be worried for her out in public situations with guys. If she has a hard time saying no and being rude, shithead guys will take full advantage of that and she'll get herself into a terrible situation. She definitely doesn't know how to set boundaries. Ask her to imagine you were in the same situation. How would she feel and how would she expect you to handle it? When I say this, I'm not saying your girlfriend is at fault for the actions of others, but she's got to stop being nice to people in this way. It isn't kind to be a pushover, it's a bad thing. The example of listening to some telescammer for an hour is particularly evident of someone who has confused niceness for being an easy target. It's not that she needs to be a cold jerk to other people, but you two need to have a conversation about the difference between being nice and being taken advantage of. Once again, she isn't responsible for the actions of others, but she can do more to protect herself. Get together, the three of you, and you can tell him. It seems like she might not be able to stick up for herself. Many women are trained to never say no to men. It's ingrained in certain families and cultures. So now she's in this difficult spot of not wanting this attention, but not knowing how to rebuff it. See if you both can get together with this guy and other members of this team on a +1 outing, and use that as an opportunity to demonstrate your role in her life to him. Sit beside her, hold her hand, focus on her for the evening. Make it very clear to him who you are and why you are there. Ask him where his significant other is. She might only be able to say no to him with your help. Give her a chance. Ask her if she'd like for you to pick her up at work sometime or drop off lunch so that he can know you exist. Also, coach her in using you as the excuse as to why she's saying no. Tell her it's okay to make you the bad guy. Just don't do anything confrontational, even slightly, unless you talk to her first. Things like this aren't going to stop happening. There's plenty of pushy people in this world. Using you as the bad guy can give her an easier way to say no so she can get used to doing it. You're giving too much credit to coworker, and he's got his hopes and dreams locked in on GF. The only way to shake him off is to clearly mark the perimeter of the relationship between OP and GF, and make it very clear there's no room for him. He can come by and pick up his bike this weekend, before OP brings over his Tour de France training set. Cheers. She needs to learn to stand up for herself. Just imagine if you weren't there. Maybe therapy. It doesn't matter if she's not interested and you trust her, she absolutely has boundary issues and it's to the point where it could be harmful to her if she is so easily letting him into her home after barely knowing him. Cultural or not, this girl needs to take a crash course in setting boundaries because she can't be giving her attention, time, and sometimes risk of well-being to anyone who asks her for it. If she's not comfortable making this change, then it will drive you apart and prevent her from ever being capable of having a healthy relationship in the future. Or an even worse outcome based on how trusting she is of random people. Sounds pretty clear-cut to me that she's in a shitty situation with a coworker in a very new job. Probably stressed about making waves at work, stressed about pissing this dude off and it affecting her work life or possibly getting her fired. Also, the dude seems to be taking advantage of this by pressuring her into hanging out with him. If the boyfriend thing wasn't enough to ward him off, I'd honestly be freaked out by him. He's being weird and taking advantage of her being in a new job and hoping she's too scared to go to our. I'd be more worried about her safety than her openly disrespecting you. If she was trying to flirt with him or something, she wouldn't be telling you about it every step of the way. Couldn't she report him to HR since he is literally stalking her? Is the guy much younger than her or something? I've noticed that younger guys are particularly bold and aggressive when pursuing women older than them. It's like they already have it in their heads that the woman is secretly fantasizing about being with them. Your girlfriend is not streetwise. Why are you dating a complete and utter pushover? How do you have any respect for her as a person? Wow, and it's stories like that makes me happy to be single and not try to meet someone. You are disrespected. That's why you feel this way. If she won't stand up for you, who will? This is already heading down a path that is going to get ugly and painful. She's clearly getting railed by this dude. You feel disrespected. She is the one being harassed. This is wrong, wrong, wrong. Can she get audio recordings of him instigating all this stuff? This guy's behavior is way beyond inappropriate, and it definitely feels like there's something off about him. Can you meet her for lunch or pick her up from work so that when he follows her out the door you're right there to just immediately put an end to it? The whole thing makes my skin crawl. I have two different stories in my mind. One, he's just a guy who is being friendly and you are jealous. You need to work on yourself, get therapy or something. Two, he's creepy and she doesn't know how to set boundaries, she needs therapy. Your girlfriend is being disrespectful. It's not hard to just reject the guy, it looks like she quite likes the attention. Have her invite him over while you're there and make sure she shows him she got you. It won't do anything if you try to show him you're hers. Honestly, my answer would be to do nothing but try and let her know that it's okay for her to say no for herself. Not just because she has a boyfriend, because in those moments, you will never actually be there. She's not saying no because she wants the attention. Signs are in front of you showing that you are in love with a woman who feels as though her time isn't valuable, and that she has no right to say no to someone, especially men. Heal her heart and do it with love because she is a hurt person acting on backwards life lessons. Just give her a hug, and ask how you can lend your strength during those tough moments when you're not physically there. Love to you both. Take her to her HR and file a complaint for sexual harassment that will end his shite pretty quick. Do you trust her? Then forget about it. You should have a heart-to-heart with the guy. Maybe he is desperate, maybe he's really good-natured. You don't know. He should be made aware of a certain relationship he's not helping with. On the flip side, how do you know she's not just being nice to you? For an extended period of time. Damn your understanding. My husband snaps at me if I even notice another male human. Setting boundaries doesn't have to be necessarily rude. You need to make yourself heard and him aware of you. Your girlfriend needs to be more assertive. It is pretty dangerous to never say no. Yes, as a dancer I had a customer I went to high school with and he acted the same way towards me as said coworker. It's very dangerous for us women to hurt a man's ego, especially if they know our place of work and our home address. They're dangerous when they're this obsessive. The best I can tell you to do is play along and take everything HES got to give first. Might as well get paid for the unwanted attention. But if that's not something you'd like to do, then talk to her and see if Shush is comfortable with you going with her on these outings. It will make him not want to hang out. It will make him squirm. It'll make it easier for her to say no to him. All jokes aside, your girlfriend is going to end up dead if she doesn't start speaking up and setting boundaries. For her own safety, please speak to her about how she can put her own feelings of being uncomfortable before some random guys. It's okay. And yes, you should meet this guy. Go with her every time he invites her somewhere. I too suck at boundaries and telling people to back off. It's insanely anxiety-inducing for me. Still, I get it together and make sure any guy making moves that's disrespectful to myself and my marriage gets the picture. I don't think you are out of line for being bothered by this. It can be hard to grow a backbone with these things, so I sympathize a bit with her too, but it has to be done and can be. Text the guy thanking him for the sweet bike for you to use with your girlfriend, then send a pic of you and her on a bike date together. Brew. Anyone doing that to my old lady gonna get a real good talking. Simple. She has a problem with being rude and making people feel uncomfortable. What about how Shush is making you feel in all of this? Does she care that Shush is making you uncomfortable? Does she care that this guy is clearly being inappropriate knowing full well she's involved? I think you need to make it clear that you're not comfortable with how she's behaving with regards to this guy.